Hey everyone, it's Carol Williams with Williams Immigration. I'm the managing attorney and owner of Boutique Immigration Law Firm here in the United States. I work with individuals and businesses nationwide. And as you know, oftentimes I come on during the evenings and answer your immigration questions. And also try to give you a bit of what happened during my days, maybe take some of what happened during my day or a question that someone asked me and sort of educate y'all so that y'all know what's going on in the US immigration world. And yeah, so I work with businesses, I work with entrepreneurs that are hiring people that are not US citizens. When that happens, they need to talk with somebody like me to make sure that their team members have the right work authorized visas in place before they start working. So I help the companies make sure all that compliance work is there, make sure the individuals and their family members that are coming with them are in the right status. I also help businesses sponsor their employees for green cards. So I do employment-based immigration as well. And I help family members that usually looks like a United States citizen who is looking to sponsor for green cards, their aging parents, their fiance or their spouse or their dependent/minor children. Remember, dependent children in the immigration context are those individuals that are under 21 and unmarried. So if you are 20 and you are married, you are no longer considered a dependent through your parents' immigration case. So keep that in mind. And the one thing that kind of popped into my head today that I wanted to talk to you guys about, and again, feel free to put your questions in the comments and we'll go through those. But the one thing I really wanted to talk to you about today is if you are applying for student status, you've really got to be able to not only get the I-20 from the school issues your I-20, but you've really got to be able to show that you intend to go back home when your studies are over, when your academic program is over. And you've got to show that you have enough, you have the financial capability to support yourself while you are in the United States. So those are two really key things that the officers at the consulate are going to be looking for when you go in for your interview. And honestly, it is super hard for us as immigration attorneys to figure out why they've denied your case if they in fact do deny your F1 student visa. So, it is super important to have really good documentation, but you want to be able to show that immigration officer that you're going to go over there, you're going to finish your degree, you're going to come home, and that you have enough, financial support to stay, for the length of your academic program. So that those are two of their concerns. I've had a conversation about that today. So I wanted to really kind of just bring that to your attention. So you guys, you know the drill. I am here. I will stay on for a little bit. Tonight, I'm not staying on for long. Monday night, I was on for about an hour and a half. So I have not made my dinner yet. Y'all know how I feel about my dinner. So if you have questions, feel free to pop them in the chat. But remember, this is simply educational. I am an immigration attorney. I used to be a USCIS Adjudications Officer. But I'm not your specific attorney. I'm not representing you on your case. So I can't give you, legal advice. I can't give you specific advice on what you need to do for your case. For that to happen, you need to schedule a consultation with me. That is how all of my clients become my clients. That is how we all start working together. We all started with a consultation and moved forward from there. Let me see if y'all have any questions. And y'all know if you don't have any questions, that's completely cool. We also know that I never ever put my glasses on when I start. So if you don't have any questions, that is completely cool. We can all just chill out for the evening and I will go make my dinner, which I'm actually kind of super excited to make tonight. Let me see what we got by way of questions. Let's see here. Yeah, I don't see any questions so far. So I'll stay on for a little bit. See, I knew as soon as I mentioned dinner, somebody was gonna have a question. Y'all are hilarious. I love y'all. You're so fun. Okay, what do we got here? What do we have here? Um, I have filed a 765 form, which is, for those of you who don't know, that is employment authorization. I filed it too early, so meaning you filed it probably before 6 months, I'm guessing, and it was denied. If the only reason it was denied because it was filed too early, then there shouldn't be an issue with you refiling. But if that is truly the only reason it was denied, if there were other reasons lurking in that, in that denial notice, then, you need to have a conversation with somebody. But if that's really the only reason it was denied, sure, I'll refile it. Um, Y'all know I'm a slow scroller. Hold on. Oh, and my polka dots are making it really hard to see. That's really funny. I have to remember not to wear this blouse. These polka dots are making it super hard to see. Okay, can I get married a month after I get my divorce in Jamaica? Um, for immigration purposes? I'm assuming I mean, yeah, you can always get remarried. I mean, the immigration service isn't going to tell you that you can't get remarried. You can get remarried, you Um, yeah, you can certainly get remarried. Um, and congratulations on finding someone that you want to get remarried to. I think that's cool. What else do we have here? I filed a 589. Is it possible for my mother to, yo, these polka dots are really making it hard to read the screen. This is hilarious. I filed an I-589. Is it possible for my mother to apply for a visitor visa to come visit me? I think, let me look at this real quick. Okay, so a 589 is asylum or withholding of removal, and neither of which I do. So your family members can certainly apply to come see you. They can certainly apply to come see you. Part of their visa applications will ask whether or not the DS-160 asks whether or not there are family members in the United States. So they will have to be honest about that, and kind of let the chips fall where they may. But they can certainly apply, but they're going to have to show that they have ties to their, to the home country, that they plan on going back, that they have the financial wherewithal to support themselves, during the time that they want to visit, whether that's 2 weeks, 2 months, 6 months, what have you. But yeah, they're going to have to show the basics. They're going to have to go through that basic application. Now, you being in asylum you having applied for asylum, I don't know how that will impact it, quite honestly, because I don't do asylum cases, so that's not something I have to really interact with on a daily basis. Should I change my name before I file my I-130? You can. You can always change your name. That's not an issue. You can certainly change your name before you file your I-130. Just make sure, if y'all are gonna, whenever y'all change names, this is outside of the I-130, but whenever you change names and you're dealing with immigration, you need to be able to show immigration the name change documents. So whether that's a divorce decree, a marriage certificate, if you're in the United States and you went to federal court to change your name, just kidding, y'all. Every time I go on live, I almost drop this phone, and I'm going to be so sad the day that it cracks the screen. So you can absolutely change your name. You just need to make sure that you provide the immigration service with the name change documents. That is something that, I am keenly aware of when I'm working with spouses that are married that have the same last name. Somebody somewhere in there changed their name. So we get all of those name change documents. And sometimes it could just be one. Could be just a marriage, it could be a marriage certificate. But if you've got a passport, let's say that's in a different name, then your paperwork that you're filling out and you put down a different name, make it easy for the immigration service. Like that's like my whole goal, right? Is to make it easy for them. So you've got to tell them what your name was, what your new name is. Usually the paperwork that you give them will explain why. You don't generally have to explain why, but let's see here. Can my 3-year-old daughter change to F1 dependent so she can go to school here? She has B1, B2 visa. I think that's probably a student, maybe? Is that what you're saying? So if your daughter is 3 years old, she is your dependent. So she's eligible to be your dependent and get F2 status. So you just need to file the proper paperwork with the USCIS or have her go to the consulate and do that. Not her 3-year-old herself, but obviously you would need to do that. But yeah, you can absolutely have dependents as an F1 student. Your dependents are F2. Your dependents are spouse and children under 21 and unmarried. Let's see here. My alien number is not recognized in the USCIS system because I wanted to know how many days accrued. I don't understand your question. My alien number is not recognized in the USCIS system. So I'm going to stop there because I don't understand the last part of it, but that happened. Yeah, I don't know what kind of case you have though. Let's see here. Yes, thank you. Ma Onai, I think I'm saying that correctly. If I'm not, I'm super sorry. I really try to pronounce names correctly. My pleasure. We've got something over on YouTube. Let's see what we got here. Hello, my interview. Hello. Your name is Message to the World. I love that. Hello, my interview for I-485 is in 19 days at 7:45 a.m. My I-130 was approved. I already went for an interview, and that was 9 months ago because I was in removal. What do you think I should expect? And why do you think they scheduled me at 7:45 a.m.? I already know that I'm going to be approved, but I'm asking based on your experience. I love that you have a crystal ball and you already know you're going to be approved. I think you're going in there like positive vibes. I like that. I have no idea why you were scheduled at 7:45. Probably because the office is open at 7:45, and they want to get through cases. Frankly, I have no idea. Their office is open at 7:45. Like that's just what they scheduled you for. You had an interview 9 months ago. I'm assuming it was at the same office. You threw me when you said because I was in removal. So I don't know why removal would necessarily make you have 2 separate interviews, because I don't do removal work. That could be completely par for the course when you're in removal. If it's a plain Jane I-130 45 interview, and an I-130 45 is generally going to be a marriage or a family. It's going to be a family-based case. Could be marriage, could be, spouse, could be aging parent, could be, child, whatever. They're going to ask you assuming that's what they're calling you in to talk about, it should be about your relationship with whoever sponsored you. But I don't know why they're calling you in 9 months later. So, that's what assuming, it is just a regular plain Jane I-130 45, then I would expect to get questions about your relationship. If it is something that is removal based or asylum, those are things I don't do. So I would have no idea what you could expect if that is what they want to talk to you about. I have not done an asylum interview in over 20 years. So I am not the best person to chat with about asylum, or definitely not the best person to talk with about EOIR. So good luck. So I hope I was a little helpful, but good luck in 19 days. Come back and let us know what happens if you get approved. We like to celebrate wins here. So good luck to you. Let's see here. Next question over on TikTok. And y'all, we're live on the YouTube channel, the Facebook page, the TikTok page, as well as the private Facebook group. And if you want access to the private Facebook group, you can hit the link in the bio, and there's a link that will take you right there. I filed for my husband with my green card. He is awaiting the interview date about 6 months. Why so though? I don't, maybe, are you saying why so long? I don't know. I don't know what you're asking. But if you're awaiting your interview, hopefully you get that soon. Let's see here. I wanted to check the number of days accrued, but my A number is not recognized in the system. In terms of the days of accrued when you've been out of status, I mean, if you're trying to check the if you're trying to check the number of days that you personally have been out of status, you can just count those. I'm not sure what you're trying to look for. Yeah, I'm not sure what you're trying to look for. Why is it taking so long for your interview? Because that's immigration, y'all. Like, I wish I knew. Like, I wish I had a crystal ball and could tell y'all when everyone's getting their interviews, but I can't. Why is it taking so long? Listen, y'all. Unless immigration approves your stuff in a week, you all are gonna hop on here and tell me and all your friends that immigration is taking too long. I know it. So why is it taking so long? Because immigration didn't process anything, or didn't process anything for a while during COVID, and then later during COVID as much as they normally do. And so, but while they weren't processing anything, we kept sending in files. So we just literally, like, the backlog we just kept sending in files. So there's more files and more files and more files. Like, it just, there is a large component to immigration that is a hurry up and wait factor. So some people could completely disagree with me when I say this, and that's okay. But there is sometimes just a hurry up and wait factor. Like, you can't jump to the head of the line just because you want your stuff done. And I get it. I do. Like, I would love if I could snap my fingers and all my clients' cases were bada bing, bada boom, like, approved, and we can move on. But yeah, immigration works typically on a first in, first out basis, which is just a very fancy way of saying everybody has to wait their turn in line. And it's very difficult to jump the line, to jump to the front of the line. That's all that means. So yeah, I mean, they receive thousands and thousands of applications every day. So some of which are mine, which, makes me happy. Let's see here. So honestly, I don't, 6 months might not be so long, quite honestly. You can always go, if assuming, I can't remember where you said you were waiting, for your interview, but if you're waiting in the States for your interview that will happen in the States, you can get on USCIS, USCIS.gov. You can pull up the processing times. And then, count from when you filed to where we are now, how many months, how many years, whatever the case may be. And then you can, then you can see where you are within that timeline. Somebody asked, what does an adjudication officer mean? So there are several different, within USCIS, there are several different types of folks that are adjudication officers. Some work on policy within the agency. Some review actual files. The people actually go through the files and determine whether or not you're approved or denied, or, you get a request for further evidence. There are some folks that are supervisors that are adjudication officers, that, manage a bunch of people that are either, like writing the rules, regulations, or, actually adjudicating the cases. So that, adjudication officer, depending on where you are in the agency, will depend on what you do underneath that title in the agency. Hi, I'm from Bangladesh. Hello. X Ali. Y'all, I can never wear this blouse again on live. It's so hard to read through. I'm from Bangladesh. After approved SIJ I-360. How long to get the green card? I have no idea. I don't know how SIJ green cards are processed because that's not part of my practice. However, you can look on the USCIS website. You can go to uscis.gov and you can pull the processing times. Let's see here. Oh, back on the YouTube channel. Message to the world says, USCIS basically just wants to see my handsome face before they approve me. I love it. I love the confidence. I love it, love it, love it. You must come back and let us know what happens in 19 days, because now I'm super curious. But I love, love, love the confidence. Let's see here. Some of you have put your questions in multiple times. This is a really good question. I have full legal, you're not gonna like my answer though, but it's a great question. I have full legal custody of my niece. Can I file for adoption to get her in the USA? She is 9 years old. So adoption, international adoption, is such a very niche part of US immigration. And y'all know me, if you have listened to me before, if you've been on any of my lives, you know that I am not at all afraid to say I don't know, or that is not a part of my practice. And international adoption, legal custody issues are absolutely so incredibly niche. They are absolutely not a part of my practice. I think that is, your question is incredibly common from someone who is looking to either get legal custody or has legal custody and then wants to adopt someone, wants to adopt a child who is overseas. Those rules are so super specific and so nuanced. I do not know that. If you are looking to hire and work with an attorney, shoot me a message and I'm more than happy to send you some names of attorneys. I know of 2 or 3 who do quite a bit of international adoption and custody work. It is so nuanced. So it's a fabulous question. It is a great question. If you're in that situation, it's a great starter question. I just don't know the answer, quite honestly. But if you are looking to hire an attorney as opposed to trying to do it yourself, shoot me a message. I am more than happy to send you the names of some attorneys who I think might be able to help you. Yeah. So unfortunately, I just don't know the answer to that. Let's see her back over on YouTube. I think Zay, I think is how you pronounce your first name. Zay, it's nice to see you. My husband is in Nigeria. What's the best way to get him to the US? Should he apply for a visa? Looks like he might still be typing. So Zay, I don't know the best way to get him here to the US, to be honest with you. I have your question brings up a ton of questions in my mind. If you are a US citizen, you can certainly bring your husband over on a fiancé visa. You can go over to Nigeria if you're able to marry your husband. You're already married. Sorry, so no fiancé visa. Just kidding. You're already married. This is my husband. So assuming you're legally married, because some people refer to someone as their spouse and they're not legally married, it messes up the whole strategy. But assuming you're legally married, you can certainly file a marriage-based green card, which is filing first here in the States. Then, your husband would go into the U.S. consulate in Nigeria, have an interview, all things being fantastic. He would get approved. He would get an immigrant visa and his passport, and then he would come on over to the U.S. as a green card holder. So married in Nigeria. You can if you can certainly file for him. You can certainly file the green card for your husband if you are in the States. You can do that if you are a U.S. citizen or if you are a green card holder. If you're a green card holder, it's going to take much longer than if you're a U.S. citizen. But yeah, that is certainly something you can do. I don't know how long you've been married. So congratulations on being married, which is fun. Let's see here. My first marriage case was withdrawn. And this is Zay, you're most welcome. My pleasure. Let's see here. My first marriage case was withdrawn. I remarried and refiled. I'm assuming you married I'm assuming the second marriage was to somebody else, but okay, that's just an assumption. But USCIS has maybe that's interviewed me, sent RFE, and then visited uninvited. Yep, absolutely. They can absolutely do that. Okay, married to a different person. So you married the first person, that person sponsored you. That case was withdrawn. Then you remarried someone different. So congratulations on finding love twice. That person filed for you. CIS is they absolutely can and will interview you in the office. They will come to your house unannounced on a site visit. They will talk to your neighbors. They will talk to people down the street. They will talk to people in the cafe that might be down the street. See if you're ever in there. They will want to talk to you if you all are at home. They absolutely have the ability to issue an RFE, a request for further evidence on your case. They can do all of those things. They can absolutely do all of those things. They can do all of those things if they think there is something not quite right about the case. They can do those things if you are just randomly chosen for a home visit. So what is your fate? I have no idea. Truly, I have no idea. That is a consultation and a chance for me to look at your application and what you filed. When folks come to me and they've already filed something, that is one of my very first questions. Did you keep a copy of what you filed with the Immigration Service? Not, do you have so cobbled together things that you're pretty sure that you sent? I know you're pretty sure these are the forms that you sent in, but did you make a photocopy of what you filed so that I can take a look at it? If you do, and I can take a look at it, then that might help me figure out why they are doing a site visit, or request for further evidence. I mean, the request for further evidence is going to tell you exactly what they're looking, what they want. But what is your fate? I have no idea. I have absolutely no idea. Again, it could be because they could be doing all this because they think there's something not quite right, or they are not quite sure what's going on in your relationship, or they're doing it because you just were unlucky with the random draw of the day and your case could be totally fine. So I don't know. I have no idea. And Yell, I think that's one of, in fact, I know that's one of the benefits of hiring an attorney, if that is available to you, because we look at all the documents that you provide us, we come up with a strategy, and we're talking with you about it all the way through. All my clients get a questionnaire. I personally look at all their answers to my questionnaires, and if there's something that doesn't quite make sense, we get on the phone and we talk about it. And I'm like, This right here is a red flag. This right here that you didn't tell me about during the consultation, this is a red flag, right? And you may not have known it would be a red flag. You may not have thought it was a big deal, right? Or it was something that you purposely kept from me during the consultation. But that's a whole other conversation that we have. But yeah, this is, it's something that I look at before we file, and then I bake that into the strategy of the case. But more importantly, I let you know at the beginning of the case if I think this could be an issue, and then how I think we either stay the course of the strategy I've set, or we tweak it and we change. So that's really one of the benefits of having an attorney on your side. And frankly, the immigration service will actually communicate with us. So let's see here. So I don't know. I don't know what your fate's going to be. I will say this though. Let us know what happens, especially if it's good news. Let us know. I received my receipt notice for my I-131 and 485. What's next? You wait. They may call you in for biometrics, but other than that, you wait. But you may get biometrics. I don't know what your immigration history is in the States, but you may get biometrics. Then you wait some more. Then you will potentially get called in for an interview. And then hopefully, all things being fantastic, you get approved. And then you come back on here on one of my lives, you tell me you got approved, and we celebrate with you. That is what could happen. That is sort of the general next path. Okay, let me check. Back over to TikTok. Okay. What do I do if I have a pending green card? What do you do if you have a pending green card for your adjustment of status case, but it is now divorced? Well, I have so many questions. Whenever you guys ask me a question, I have all these other questions for you. So if you have a pending green card application and you, for whatever reason, get divorced, frankly, that is the time for you to consult a lawyer. Because I don't know where you are in your green card application. I don't know how long you've been married. So again, it sort of conjures up a whole bunch of other questions where, if we were sitting in a consultation, I would dig in and ask you tons of questions. But in general, being divorced does not tank or kill your green card application. It just depends on sort of several different things. But in general, your application is not tanked. But I would recommend that you consult an immigration lawyer to see exactly what your next strategy needs to be, depending on your situation. How long have you all been married? When were you divorced versus when did you file? I have all the questions that sort of immediately come to mind. But in general, the Immigration Service understands that people get divorced. So yeah, that's a really sort of a console question, especially when I have more questions floating through my mind really than answers. What if your affidavit for someone but can't find your W-2 for 2020, only 2022 and 2021? What can I do? Well, you can always go back to your employer and get a duplicate copy of your W-2. You can also, this isn't a duplicate copy of your W-2, but you can go onto the IRS website and get a tax transcript for 2020, 21, and 22. Let's see here. Been in the U.S. 16 years. What can I do to fix my undocumented status? I have no idea. That is such a broad question, which I understand that is your question. But from my perspective, that is such a broad question. I have no facts other than the fact that you've been here. I have two facts. You've been here for 16 years and you're currently undocumented. I I would need to do a consultation with you and sit down and ask a ton more questions. So I don't know. I don't know. And to be very honest with you, there are some folks that are here that are undocumented that have a path to getting a green card. And there are some folks here in the US, based on our current laws, that are here undocumented. There is no legal path for them. So I don't know which category you fall into, quite honestly. I just don't know. So that's really a consultation question. And I totally understand that. Like, you have asked your question, that is your earnest question, but that is so broad. That again is one of those questions where I have way more questions in my head than answers. Let's see here. I got approved for your green card last year. It looks like it was lost in the mail. Applied for replacement. Should I wait for processing to complete? Yes. Yes. If you have filed for a replacement, you've got to give them a chance to actually replace the card. Yeah, I mean, you kind of have answered your own question where you said only 3 months left based on processing time. So yes, you have to wait. Absolutely. Like, you've gone and done exactly what I would have told you to do, which is go to USCIS website, check and see what the processing times are, and wait. Let's see here. When you're approved by USCIS, what's next? Approved for what? Approved for what? If you're approved for a green card, next is you're a permanent resident and you work and travel in and out indefinitely. I mean, that's kind of what's next. If you're a green card holder, your green card gets approved and then you want to become a US citizen. If you are married to a US citizen, then you wait 3 years total from the day you became a green card holder, and then you can apply for US citizenship. Or if you are not married to a US citizen, then you wait 5 years and then you can apply for US citizenship. So I'm not quite sure what you mean by what's next, or what you are approved for. I have clients that, long before we even start their green card application, they're here, they're in status that allows them to work. So their question of what next is completely different. So I need a little bit more flesh to that. My husband got his work visa. Is he allowed to travel out of the country? What work visa? Like, I need more information. Does he have an H-1B? Does he have an L-1? Does he have an O-1? Like, what visa type does he have that allows him to work? In some cases, when someone has the ability to work in the US and they have a visa, that category allows them to work and travel. Some folks get what we call, as lawyers, employment authorization document. Alone, that does not allow you to travel in and out of the US. Some folks need advance parole in order to travel in and out of the US. So it really depends on what type of work visa he has. And that will determine whether or not he can travel in and out of the US without having another travel document being advance parole. How does getting a sponsor work to fix your status? My friend offered, but I don't really know much. That is a consultation question. That is super, super broad. So that is absolutely a consultation question. You've got to click the link in the bio and schedule a consultation. All right, y'all. Those are the only questions I see. And y'all know I am good for going to make my dinner. So I have loved chatting with you all as usual. I'm Carol Williams with Williams Immigration. I have a boutique immigration law firm. I've been practicing for 25 years, only immigration. I told someone the other day, I'm a one-trick pony. All I know is immigration. That's my thing. I work with companies that are hiring individuals that are immigrants, making sure that everyone on their team has the right work authorization, making sure that they can travel, making sure that their family members can come with them. And oftentimes for my clients that are companies, they want to then sponsor their employees for green cards, and I help them do that as well. I also work with families. So if you're a US citizen or a current green card holder and you're looking to sponsor your aging parent or minor child, minor in the immigration world, y'all, is under 21 and unmarried. So if you're 20 and married, you no longer can ride with your parents when it comes to your immigration status. And we also do spouses and fiancés. So that is it for this evening's live. I'm going to go make my dinner because Monday night I was on with y'all for like well over an hour, like an hour and a half. So if you want to work with a firm, all of my clients, everyone that works with me and my team is amazing. So I like to give them a shout out. They are absolutely amazing. Everybody starts with a consultation. So go ahead and click the link in the bio if you have a case and you want to work with me on, or if you have, some really targeted questions, or conversely, if you have super broad questions and you want to really kind of get my undivided attention and let me dig in and ask some questions and then get some answers, we can come up hopefully with a strategy. For your case, you can do that truly by clicking the link in the bio. You can also call the office. We can get you scheduled for your consultation then. 954-903-1337. And I've had a couple people call recently who thought they could call and sort of circumvent having a consultation. That is not what is going to happen when you call. When you call, we're going to schedule you for a consultation. So I wanted to make that clear for everybody, but it has been wonderful again. Let me look at my calendar, y'all. I'm not sure if I'm going to be live tomorrow. Oh, I cannot believe it's already November. I have to be out of the office for a significant amount of time tomorrow. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be live tomorrow. I'm going to try, y'all. But again, if you want to work with a firm, click the link in the bio. Let's get you a consultation. Let's get you a strategy. Let's make that your holiday gift to yourself, one step closer to your immigration goals, one step closer to your work permit, one step closer to your travel permission, one step closer to your green card, one step closer to living under the same roof with your spouse. Give yourself an end of year gift of taking one step closer to your immigration status. All right. So y'all have a wonderful evening. This has been fantastic. And I'm going to try to chat with y'all tomorrow. All right. Bye, everybody. Have a great night.